What's up, everybody? It's a cold, wet night here in St. Louis. Want to take a few minutes while I had some time and show you guys what I did with my Harbor Freight lift table. Started off with the one you buy from the store. It was picked up for about 278 bucks. I bought the wheel chock, which is right there, for about $45 with a coupon. Works good. Did like everybody else is doing, converted mine over to air over hydraulic, and it worked out good, so I figured I'd share it with you. I'll start down here. Everybody knows the features of the table, how it works. The secret plate right there that comes out. There you go. Yeah, that just lifts up. If you'll notice, all my pedals are gone. Did away with all that stuff and spent some time came up with my own idea. I saw a few other people do this with welding a tray and then putting the jack on the tray. I just used a 3/4 inch steel pipe and a 1/2 inch steel pipe that threads through that, or it doesn't thread through, it just kind of fits through there. Anyway, you guys get the idea. So what I did down here, you'll see the nut right there, the bolt. That's what holds the end of the ram into the table, prevents it from coming back out. I left the springs on my jack just because when the table is completely in an upright position, there's not a whole lot of weight pushing down on the jack, so I left my springs on so that when there's nothing on the table, it'll come down by itself. So, start over here. You'll see right there is my 3/4 inch hollow pipe. Down here is my 1/2 inch solid steel pipe with, I cut it out, cut it to length, and then put 1/2 inch washers here on the back side, and over there too. Kind of check those out real quick. And I kind of lucked out with this jack because when I put it in there, I laid it flat, and my release is right here to let the oil back into the reservoir. I just used a 13/16 socket, a universal adapter, and a 6-inch extension. I drilled a hole through the side of my table, 1/2 inch of course, and came up with this little idea here. Used a 1/4, or actually a 3/8 to 1/2 adapter, and then I just found this in my toolbox, which is actually for an impact gun, but it works out fine. And on this thing, this right here was part of a serpentine belt removal tool that I had laying in my toolbox. Happens to be a 1/2 inch. So when you put that on there, you can just lower the jack down, just like that. Or you can, close it and it'll hold in place. So that's pretty much it on this side. Go to the other side, and then we'll load the bike up on the table, and I'll show you how it works. So, walk over to this side. There's the bike, by the way. It's a Harley-Davidson Ultra Classic. It's a big red bike. So I'm gonna come over here now, and on this side of the table is the other side of the jack. When this came out of the box, the air inlet for the air motor was on top. So if this is what you end up getting, this is a 12-ton lift from, a 12-ton jack from Harbor Freight. It was, I think 75 bucks with coupon, of course. Anyway, there's a nut right here. If you loosen this counterclockwise, you'll be able to rotate this whole thing whichever direction you need to go. I chose to put mine on the bottom. My air inlet is on the bottom, and then I just ran it out the other side that's, you know, on the floor, away from everything, so it doesn't get pinched. Worked out good. So what we're gonna do now is, lower the jack down. We're going to start the motorcycle, put it up on the table, and prove that this thing works. One more thing before I get up. Down here, it's kind of hard to tell now because I painted it all black so it wouldn't rust. I just welded this piece of pipe to the bottom of my jack in 6 places. The best way to do this, what I found worked the best, was to find your exact center of the bottle on the bottom, which happens to be kind of sort of hard to see. Yeah, right in there. Find your center point, and then what I did is I welded my bar just below this horizontal center line. The reason I did that was to allow myself enough clearance that when the table came down, when it's in a down position, the jack is still off the floor. It never touches the ground. And as you can see here, I was even able to keep my original wheels on there. I didn't have to put the lift kit on it like everybody else does. So, I'm not saying that's wrong, but it just happened to work out this way for me. So, I can't think of anything else really to say other than it worked for me. It'll work for you. Just be careful with your measurements. This is about, the end of this ram has a threaded adapter that screws out. And I unscrewed mine 1.5 inches to fit inside this piece of steel. And then your bolt, you just tighten it back down onto the adapter, and that holds the jack in place, secures it here, and then these two, the pin that runs through the table kind of just holds the jack off the ground. That's all it really does. Anyway, so we're gonna take a quick break real quick. We're gonna put the bike on the table. We're gonna jack it up so you can see that it works, and go from there. Okay, so you can see the bike is on the table now. What I did while I was down at the Harbor Freight yesterday, kind of a junkie when it comes to that store. I can walk around for hours and just keep finding crap that I don't really need. I found this 10-foot airline that I connected to the bottle jack. Just allows me to stand further away from the motorcycle while it's being lifted. As you can see, it's on there. I haven't even put any straps on it yet because I just didn't. But we're gonna go ahead and jack it up, and then we're gonna take a look at it, and I'll be right back. Sorry about that. The jack requires actually between 90 and 120 pounds of air pressure. You can get by with about 50 or 60. I have a 21-gallon upright compressor. Kind of see it sitting over there under the workbench. It seems to work fine. It kicks on every time I have to lift the bike up, but I've never seen a air table that didn't use a lot of air. So here's your proof. It works. Down here you can see that everything is secure. It's not moving anywhere. you don't hear anything popping or creaking, or, you know, I feel this table is safe. My motorcycle is 850 pounds with a full tank of gas. This is a 1,000-pound lift table. That's a 12-ton jack, and so far, so good. Haven't had any trouble with it. My advice to you is, if you're gonna do something like this, and you want it, it's not gonna be exactly like mine. It's not gonna be exactly like any other that you find online, because everybody does it just a little different. But if you like what you see, and you thought this was informative, leave a comment. I will read them if I get a comment. If you have questions, feel free to ask. Thanks, guys.